So let's start off with first understanding exactly what Stellar Cyber does.
Sure. So we're a cybersecurity company, and we basically have built a unified platform for security operations. It's a completely AI based. It was built with AI in mind from day one. And we basically are able to collect any alerts or security threats from any location, whether it's in the network, whether it's in the cloud, whether it's through an application. And then our AI magic takes over. Basically, we're able to distill the ingestion that we get, be able to enrich the data, understand it, is it a true threat, and then be able to provide the security analysts the comfort that we've completely gone through the whole cycle of understanding the different threats that are coming in. So you can isolate what we call true positives, where you got to be concerned, versus false positives. And so in this new dawn of AI, not only AI is helping us be able to filter and pinpoint kind of what are going to be areas of concern, but AI has exploded the amounts of threats that bad actors are pushing into environments. So we're being able to automate that, and then through our AI layer, be able to do that. And so think of us as really a intelligent security operations platform.
Mhm.
And recently we announced an exciting area of taking the SOC to the next generation, which is a human augmented autonomous SOC, which we can talk about in more detail.
Mhm. I'm curious as to the history of the company. You have over 14,000 customers currently, so you've grown well over the years, and I believe your founding was in 2018. Um, Tell us about the genesis of the company, if you can, like what started um, the founding of the company. What was unique that Stellar Cyber would offer that was not available then?
Yeah, so the founders quickly analyzed it's kind of if you look at the funnel of how to, when you get alerts coming in versus how to isolate what to focus on, the founders really said that we need to kind of build a platform from the ground up to be AI capable. It needs to be intelligent. So we introduced several types of AI technologies into the platform, whether it's machine learning to graph ML, and then now with agentic AI, which is the future. So that's very unique. It's an AI layered platform. The other thing, I don't know if you've noticed recently, there's been a lot of acquisitions on what we call the data pipeline. So CrowdStrike bought a company, SentinelOne bought one. And what does that mean? Because the volume of data that's coming in, if you don't filter it properly, you can just be in a nightmare of trying to understand how to manage that ingestion. And so they bought several companies, but we understood that problem early on. So what we have built is intelligent sensors that sit at the customer site, and you can filter before it even comes to us in terms of what is relevant, what to watch out for, and so we can manage the data pipeline before it even comes to a cloud, or really when then we can have the SOC analysts be able to say, okay, this is really what's going to be. The other thing we also noticed that we believe the MSSP market was not very well served. The MSSP market was just getting started. There was obviously a lot of MSPs doing IT management,
Hmm.
but security became a very central thrust in the last 10 years. And so we said that we need to make sure we're serving that market well. So we built the platform to be multi-tenant, meaning MSSPs may have hundreds of thousands of customers. We need to provide them a centralized management platform that can serve all their tenants. So having multi-tenancy, having being able to be AI is driven. And I think the biggest strength is we didn't want customers to get locked down in what they choose for their security tools. So we're an open platform. We don't care what EDR or antivirus, whatever technology tool, we will serve them all. So we're not trying to be a monolith like a CrowdStrike or Palo Alto, buy everything from us. We understand that customers may have diverse types of security tools. But the key thing why kind of I joined here was really about it's a unified platform. The days of, we used to call it tool sprawl, right? You got to buy 10 products to solve a single problem. You don't have to do with our platform. It's a unified, intelligent platform that does all the things that a customer wants to do security operations.
One of the premises of this podcast is to get to know the company and kind of the people behind it. Obviously, you've got a esteemed background, IIT, a PhD in business, work, and then working for some great organizations. Tell us a little bit more about yourself as well as the founders.
Yeah, sure. So if you've seen my LinkedIn, you can see that I've kind of started my career with well, I was thinking maybe I should get into academia. So that's why I got my PhD. But I was very, back in the days, is really keen in understanding, we used to call it MIS, or just the whole information technology space was kind of growing rapidly. And so I jumped into more in the traditional IT space. I actually started my career at NCR, which was one of the market leaders back then in mid-range computers or servers. I was a server guy. I actually moved from NCR. Our whole team moved to Austin, Texas, to help Michael Dell build the enterprise group when it was a PC company. So I was part of the storied back in the late 90s and 2000 when we completely built an enterprise group in terms of servers and storage capabilities. Back then, Compaq used to be the big, 800-pound gorilla. Within a year or two, we displaced Compaq, and we basically grew basically zero revenue to multi-billion revenues. After Dell, I kind of last 20 plus years, I've been in the software business. I'm really, back then it wasn't cloud, it was still in automation. It wasn't, but I was part of IT automation. I was part of the early virtualization, VMware and Red Hat and Microsoft. And then in the last 10, 15 years, I've been solely focused on SaaS as well as in security. I was with SolarWinds as well as, which had an offshoot into Enable, which got me into the MSP space and MSSP space. So kind of a storied career in terms of hardware migration into the SaaS and security space. And I'm fortunate to be part of this. I was really excited to join this company. The founders, Chang Ming and Amy. Amy actually founded the company, and then Chang Ming, the reason I was really excited is he's done various startups and done exits, right? So he's done a successful, and more importantly for me as a product guy, I want to make sure I'm building the biggest, baddest product. So his career story in terms of building the best Wi-Fi technology, best, networking technology at NetScream and others. I think this is having that experience of these founders, not only building the best technology, but understand how to grow a company so that it can be successful, whether it's an exit or not. That's not so important for me as the product guy, but building the world's best products in the marketplace. And I think the industry and as well as the customers are hungry for a more simpler, but more capable security operation platform. And I think that's what we have.
And how would you describe, as Chief Product Officer, the pace of change needed to, a pace of change with product development and new products introduced needed for Stellar Cyber to continue to remain top of its field?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in the last 5 years, it's been extremely hectic for a couple of reasons. The amount of threats and bad actor capabilities that can enter an organization has dramatically changed. So trying to keep up with pace in terms of what is an actual threat is actually is becoming very troublesome. And if you don't keep up with the pace of how to attack all sorts of different capabilities and threat surfaces and how to protect an environment, you're going to be underwhelming in terms of providing a solution our customers want. Luckily, this is where AI has really shown. AI is helping us build products faster, much faster than we ever could. And that's helping our developers to quickly finding out. My team, which is the product team, product managers are kind of identifying the threats or requirements. And quickly with some of the AI technologies that we're using, we're able to integrate other threat detection technologies. We don't have to build everything. We can work with partners for threat intelligence feeds and others and IOC feeds. But we can also kind of help build kind of the capabilities in the product much, much faster. So right now we're in a breakneck speed, but we're very fortunate that we built this company to be AI ready. So we have the talent, which is the biggest thing, right? We're not like, AI is taken off. Let me go figure out how to do AI. We know AI. It was built from the ground up. We know all the different AI technologies, whether it's OpenAI, LLM, generative AI. So we were ahead of the curve in terms of skills, but also understanding the importance of AI can help us build a better product faster.
I imagine that there are other companies out there, cybersecurity companies, that are providing similar
Sure.
solutions. How do you typically try to tell the market or to tell a prospective customer how Stellar is different?
Yeah. So Changmi and I actually, when we talk to customers, investors, if you look at drop names, CrowdStrike, great company, the business performance has been fantastic. But how do they build their platform, which is equivalent to ours? It's through acquisitions. They had to figure out how to do the ingestion. They built or bought somebody that can do EDR. They bought somebody that can do SIEM. They bought somebody, like I said, to do the data thing. So they kind of gradually, intelligently bought the categories of the platform you need.
Mm.
And that was probably close to $1 billion of acquisition. We built it from the ground up, knowing all the different categories you need. And then you can have that foundation to then grow from. Right. So I think that's kind of the uniqueness of our platform. And I used to work in large companies when I was at CA, when I was at, SolarWinds and even at Dell. We tend to acquire companies, but then it's a pain in the, ASS to integrate all these products and make it look like a seamless solution, right? So that's one of the biggest advantage, right? We have the foundation, we have the openness, which is a big thing in product world, right? Being able to integrate with anything and then being able to have the AI already layered in. That just gives a solid foundation to have a more unified
Mm.
and more importantly, kind of an intelligent system. And now with our focus on human augmented, which is we're going to have these intelligent agents. This is not okay, close the closet and everything works. I don't think that's a pipe dream. We're building an agentic AI platform that works with humans. So there's an interaction. So it learns from humans and gets guidance from human. And that will make the SOC analysts much more productive. They're not working in the daily grind of sifting to thousand millions to figure out, okay, what do I do next? We want them to focus on do next. Let
Mhm.
the agents do the hard work to understand how to sift through what's problematic and then leave things that are false positives. Don't worry about them. But that takes days and people time.
Last two questions. One is, can you tell us about a person who has had a profound influence on you?
So that's hard if I don't say one person versus the other. But I would definitely say I work very closely with Amy, our CTO founder. So definitely I understand. I've been in startups. I've been in large companies. It's very difficult to bring something to life, but more even difficult to scale and build it.
Mm-hmm.
So the two founders kind of have this uniqueness combination, right? So Amy helps me and inspire me on the technology. Changming helps me kind of balance the entire build a product to operations to sell. So it's very inspiring to see. I've been very fortunate to being in companies that have grown, 10x, 100x. So I like to build products, but more importantly, I like to see the company grow. And that's what's been inspiring. We're a rock solid product with the technology base, but we're growing globally, right? And so I would say the two founders are probably the most impact to me.